Today I want to tell you about creatures of Dragon Age Origins, and first kind is giant spiders. So I think that the Dragon Age Origins, although I have played only in Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, and right now in 2025 in May we have another two games from Dragon Age, Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age Veilguard, but I think that Dragon Age Origins is still the best. Even though I didn't play with in Inquisition and in Veilguard. Inquisition has sold the most copies of Dragon Age games, about I think 10 millions or something like that, maybe less, but it was the best comparing the financial results. And unfortunately, Dragon Age Veilguard was a flop, and didn't sell so good so far. But I want to talk about creatures of Dragon Age, because I think that Dragon Age Origins has not only the best plot, not the best mechanics in the game, the best spells, and the beautifulest graphics, but this graphic is very detailed, intricate, and sometimes we see the graphic is complicated and very climactic. So, for example, if we see medieval like castles, they really look like medieval like castles. When we begin our origin story with Dalish elf, we are beginning this journey in Brazilian forest, very climactic, mysterious forest, even for the elves. And uh, and uh, and uh, generally speaking, the elven origin story is for me the most interesting. Even so far I didn't play as dwarven roach and dwarven castless origin story and elf from the city, but I think that Dalish elves are the most interesting, because in general in origin in Dragon Age world, it's a fantasy world compared to the, for example, Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance, but it was invented by BioWare. And these very famous games like Dragon Age Origins and especially Dragon Age Inquisition, they are the most famous of its franchise, and they are also famous of its very intelligent world building. And beginning our story with Dalish elves, we are meeting at the beginning two very interesting creatures. First of one is, and today in this short story I will tell about spiders, because spiders are generally one of the first enemies and one of the first creatures we will meet. We will meet them also in Magi origin story. So they are pretty common as enemy, and the beginning of the creation of giant spiders is interesting, because in Dragon Age world, magic is something generally forbidden. It's generally forbidden because it is believed that mages from the Tevinter Empire, and the Tevinter Empire is the strongest country, the strongest realm in Dragon Age world, specifically on Tredas continent. Uh, and these mages from the Tevinter Empire, they wanted to usurp godhood when the Maker lived in its golden city. And we of course are not sure if this is true or this is just a legend, because religion is a very important part of Dragon Age world, and we have religion mixed. We would say it's a mixture between Christianity and Islam. So in this religion, the prophet Andrastre was so beloved by the Maker that he decided to forget our past sins, and decided that if the chant of light, so this type of religion spread by Andrastre, will go to the all corners of this world, he will forgive humanity completely their past sins. But also, the very important part is this sin part. And the first sinners were the mages from the Temeter Empire, and they wanted to usurp the throne, the golden city where the maker dwelt. And the Maker cast them to our world as twisted abominations, which are called Darkspawn, so generally speaking, all mages are considered dangerous, and the chantry, so the chantry is like the official or organization of the Andrastre religion. The chantry controls the mages, controls them in many ways, because it is believed, and it's not even believed, it's a fact, concrete fact, that demons can sense mages, because our world is our world, and we have also this mystical world called fate, and the barrier between them is called the veil. And mages, when they sleep, mages are aware of being in the fate, and they are the only people who can be aware of their being in the fate, because another races and another people can only be in the fate when they dreaming, but they are not aware of this situation. And because of the major situation, demons and other spirits can possess humans and other races who are also mages, and they want to go to our world, to know our world, because generally speaking, demons want, from reasons I know unknown, I think, demons want to see our world. And the story of creation of the giant spiders are there are two stories of creating the giant spiders. One of them is that in places of our world, when of Theda's world, when the veil is thin, and the veil is thin in two situations, or one, there were some bloodbath, some very big battle, and there were many deaths. There were many blood, death, gore, and violent. And in those places, the veil is very thin, but also in places with magical potential, created by the wizards, by the mages, or from other reasons. So places where magic is strong also are very thin in the veil. And the beginning of the spiders, from one narration, is that demons from such places, thin places of the veil, go to our world, and they possess the normal spiders, and they become these abomination like giant spiders. And another theory is that the corruption, like a substance, can in those places where the veil is thin, this substance or this magic from the fate can come to our world, and it can devour or change or completely um, spaczenie in Polish. I forgot the English word for a spaczenie, but they can completely twist normal beings, living beings, because the demons are lured only by living creatures, like animals, like humans, like dwarfs, elves, and so on, not by not animated objects. Uh, yes, but I think that in case of being possessed, I think that there is exception that, for example, flora, so like sometimes trees and other flora like things can also be possessed by the demons. But let's go back to the giant spiders. So the giant spiders are created by the possession of the demon or other angry spirit, or they are twisted by the magic or by the corruption coming from the veil. And they also have very interesting and very cool looking ability like web, so they can fling the webs and they can immobilize their target. So for example, our hero can be can be immobilized by the web of the spiders, and the look of the web is really beautiful. So I think, even though I didn't play in Baldur's Gate 3, which is more advanced graphically, I think, still I would say that Dragon Age Origins is the best looking RPG game I have ever seen in my life. Maybe Baldur's Gate 3, but I didn't play it. I will in the future. But so far, I think that Dragon Age, for example, right now I'm playing in Dragon Age 2, and it is on the same engine, but it is completely. It's the same engine, but the game looks almost completely different than Dragon Age Origins. And I think that Dragon Age Origins looks the best from not only from Dragon Age franchise, but from the perspective of all RPG games. Maybe science fiction RPG games, like for example, a new edition of Mass Effect trilogy looks good enough, but I would still say that Dragon Age Origins looks better even than Mass Effect 3. Although it's a very difficult comparison, because we in let's say in RPG games we have, generally speaking, um, games like fantasy games and games like science fiction games. So it's difficult to compare these two sub genres. Dragon Age Origins is very interesting in playing, because almost every creature and most important characters, they have their own unique story. And for example, when you are fighting with the giant spiders, they you see when their digitals almost move, you can almost see different digitals when they are, for example, running toward you. And for example, when you kill them, they like flip their bodies upside down. So it looks really amazing to fight with the creatures and with the enemies of the Dragon Age Origins, but also the sound when they are crawling toward you, when they are dying, you almost hear these insect-like digitals, or they mouths, or something like that. It really looks very cool, and I think that the best way of playing Dragon Age Origins is to play not from the position of, because I saw that on the consoles you need to play very when the camera is almost near your character. But on the PC version, you can create like isometric view from afar. from afar, like Baldur's Gate 3, like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, specifically Icewind Dale 1 and 2, Planescape Torment, and it looked really cool, really beautiful. And when you are fighting with these characters, like for example, is giant spiders, you see almost their distinct features, like carapace or their plates or their the color of their skin. Everything is really very intricate from the point of the graphic and from the point of the sound. So let me know in the comments. For example, even their ability, like flinging the web, really looks beautiful, amazing, and very cool. So let me know in the comments what do you think about giant spiders. What else can we add to the history or to the look or to the abilities of the giant spiders of the Dragon Age Origins game?